Hi friends, welcome to the channel Unshackling Sudoku and Puzzles. Ashish here, and today I'll be covering a puzzle genre called Arrows Puzzle. So now this puzzle comes into the object placement puzzle category because you have to place arrows in this puzzle, right? And we are solving 3 puzzles today, and all of these puzzles are constructed by Madhav Shankar Narayanan. So these 3 puzzles were featured in the recent PR contest, Puzzle Ramayana contest that was actually organized on Logic Masters India website. And I must say that all the puzzles from that contest are excellent one. The contest was on a tougher side, but I solved the puzzles at my leisure after the contest, and I really enjoyed all the puzzles from the contest. So we have taken 3 arrows puzzle from the contest, and I must really recommend you that you just check out the contest page. The contest is over, but you can still download the puzzle booklet and solve the puzzles at your leisure. So now coming on to this puzzle, before going to the puzzle, I really thank the author for giving us an opportunity to cover a video on our channel. And if at all you have any request for any Sudoku or a puzzle, do let us know in the comment below and we'll surely make a video on it. And please do subscribe to the channel Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzles. And now coming on to this puzzle, so we have to place arrows in the grid, right? So we have to place arrows in the grid, not in the grid, actually outside the grid. As you can see, there are exactly 16 cells where you have to place the arrows, and all the arrows will have to point inside the grid, right? So you cannot have an arrow placed here this way, right, which is not pointing inside the grid. So every arrow should point inside the grid and at least one cell inside the grid. So you cannot have an arrow that is pointing here. So you cannot have an arrow here that is actually pointing here, not this one. So pointing towards the other arrow or other cells. You need to place arrows in such a way that they need to be pointed inside these 16 cells. At least one of these 16 cells. So it's a 4x4 grid, right? So you have to place these arrows in such a way that you have to be pointed in one of these 16 cells in such a way that the numbers inside the grid indicates the number of arrows pointing to that number, right? So for example, if you have a 3 here, exactly 3 arrows will be pointing towards this cell. So if you have a 0 here, there will be no arrow pointing towards this cell. So you have to place the arrows in such a way that you will have exactly as many number of arrows pointing towards the cell indicated by the number. And with that, we'll start solving this puzzle. So the first and the foremost thing that you need to do in this puzzle is mark a cross here. So as you can see here, why am I marking a cross here? So the most important thing here in this puzzle is every cell has exactly 3 possible placements for arrows. So for example, if you see this cell, it will have arrow can be placed towards this cell, which is not possible, towards the bottom, I mean to say vertically, or towards diagonally this way. Exactly two ways this cell can point have an arrow. This cell can have 3 ways the arrow can be placed, pointing towards the bottom, pointing left diagonal and pointing right diagonal. So every cell in this grid, outside the grid, will have exactly 3 cells or 3 possible places for the arrow to be placed. And the corner cells, so these are the corner cells, will have exactly 2 possible placements for the arrow to be placed, right? This is the first and the foremost important logic that you need to see in this puzzle. So because this, you cannot have an arrow pointing towards the left diagonal because that will point to the other cell of the arrow, not inside the grid. So I have marked the crosses here, and the next important thing in this puzzle is the notation. So I'll be explaining you how I am going to notate each and every pieces in this puzzle. So for example, the notation here, I have marked this cross because you cannot have an arrow towards the upper diagonal of this cell or lower diagonal of this cell. I have placed the arrow here. So if I have a cross here as well, which means I cannot place an arrow towards the left diagonal as well. So I cannot place a cross here, but let's see if I can place. Okay, I'll be able to place a cross here as well. So if I place a cross here, which means an arrow cannot be pointing towards the horizontal left, right? So that is what the notation is more about. Now if you see, you have a 0 here, which means there cannot be any arrow pointing towards the 0. So I can have a cross here, I can have a cross here, here and here, which means the arrow cannot point towards this line because it will have only because 0 cannot be pointed by any of the arrows, right? Same way, if you see this cell, it cannot point towards the upper diagonal because it is having a 0 there. So if I have an arrow, for example, if I have an arrow here, it will point towards a 0, which is not possible. So I cannot have an arrow here. I need to place a diagonal here, a cross here. Same way for this 0, if you see, you can have a diagonal cross here, right? There are two places to have the diagonal cross for the 0. Any more places? Yeah, no. So done. Now if you see here, as I already said, every cell has 3 possible placement for arrows, but these two cells we have already eliminated 2 possible placements. So the third possible placement for this cell would have to be this, and for this cell it would have to be this. Exactly, right? Nice. So you have a cross mark here, which means arrow has to be pointed horizontally this way and vertically this way, and which means that now if you see here, we have, I will notate one more thing here. Whenever you place an arrow, just mark the number of dots that is pointing this the cells with by the arrow, right? So this arrow is pointing these 4 cells, so it is pointed by every arrow, right? I mean to say, it is pointed by the arrow here at the top, which means I have made a 0 marking here, or maybe a dot marking here, which is pointed by the arrow. Same way for this arrow, a dot here, here, here and here, and which means that this cell is pointed by 2 arrows now, which is marked by the 2 dots here, which means this one is fulfilled and this one is fulfilled now. So I can mark that here. We have fulfilled this once now, which means that no other arrow can point towards this once. And now again the notation will help you. I can cross mark here not to point the 1. I can cross mark here. I can cross mark here, here, here as well, right? So I have crossed. I have notation. I have used the notation for cross for every possible places where a 1 can be pointed, right? A cross mark here, here, here and here. And now if you see, you have exactly 2 crosses in both of these cells, which means the third possible placement is the arrow here, which means this arrow would have to be this way and this arrow would have to be this way, right? And again, so the same logic we are using here. Whenever you point an arrow, mark the number of dots the arrow is pointing, right? So this cell is pointed by 2 arrows now. Exactly, right? And which means that now let us see how we can continue here. Any more? Okay, so this cell, now this cell has already two crosses here, which means the third will have to be the arrow, and which means it would have to be, sorry, it would have to be this arrow. And now again the notation here, 1 dot, 2, 3 and 4, and which means that this one is fulfilled now, right? So the moment you fulfill one of the ones here, you again go for the notation and cross out the arrow combinations here. This cannot be an arrow, this cannot be an arrow, anything. Okay, okay, so which means now you have this cell where an arrow can be placed, and which will have to be this way. Nice. So again notation of dot here. Let us see anything else we have. Okay, so because of the 1 here, this arrow cannot point towards the left, so you have a cross here as well, which means there is only one place for the arrow, one possibility of an arrow to be placed here, and that has to be this arrow, sorry, this arrow, right? And which means that you can now place the dots here. Okay, so any more logic that we can apply here? Okay, so we can have a cross here as well, because it cannot point towards this one, so a cross here as well will help you to get one more arrow possible placement, right? So this will have this placement, and which means that you can again place the dots here. So the notation is most important thing. Why am I notating here? Because you can actually sometimes forget to notate, and you will actually not see that a number is already fulfilled. So the notation is most important thing here. Always try to use the notations here. So I have used the notations for all the ones here by the dots and everything here. So let's see anything else you have here. So this cannot be notated here. You have any other logic here? This 2 has 1, 2, 3 is not possible. Okay, so these 2 have exactly 2 places the arrows can point to this cell. So actually this 2 has exactly 6 places. One place is already fulfilled, second place is already fulfilled, right? Third place is already fulfilled, and fourth place cannot point towards the bottom because you have a cross here. So there are only 2 possible ways the 2 can be fulfilled, and both the ways you need to have the arrow exactly, right? So this would have to be the arrow, and this would have to be arrow this way, which means again the notation will be 2 times 1 2 1 2 1 2 and 1 2, which means that we have fulfilled the 2s and 3s here. Exactly. So the moment you have fulfilled 2s and 3s, now 3 cannot have an arrow here, arrow here pointing, which means there is only one possible place arrow can be placed here, and that has to be this way. Okay, and anything else? So you have you don't need to notate here because there is no number here. So whenever you don't have any number, there is no use of notation here, so you can just remove that notation. So anything else now? Let us see if we are missing anything. So this 3 is done. You need this 3. There are 2 possible places for the 3 here, and it cannot go straight. I missed this easy logic here. This cannot go towards the top because you already have one fulfilled, which means this would have an arrow this way, right? And which means this 3 is also fulfilled now, which means you can again mark this as fulfilled now, and which means this cannot point towards the left, and this would have to point towards the right, and which means this would have to be this way. And we have now these 2 and this one remaining. This cannot point towards the bottom because 3 is already fulfilled, so this would have to point towards the top again. Now this cannot point towards the bottom, so it will have to be pointing towards the left diagonal, and which means it would have to be this way. And again now, which means that you have fulfilled the 3 now, and this cannot point towards the right diagonal, it will have to point towards the left diagonal, and which means we have completed this puzzle. So if you see here, we have completed this puzzle using the notations actually. So if you are very good in memorizing that how many arrows are pointing towards the number, it is easy for you not to have notations here. But this puzzle actually is a paper puzzle, I would say, because solving it on paper is a really easy task, but solving online is a really difficult task. You cannot keep a track of how many arrows are pointing towards a number, right? So this is what you solve a puzzle. And now we'll go to the next puzzle. This is the second puzzle by Madhav Shankar Narayanan. So let's see what is the logic behind this puzzle. So I had to think for a while in this puzzle, and actually this puzzle had a very good logic. And let me show you what was the logic with this puzzle. So before going to solve the logic in this puzzle, I'll just mark all the crosses here again, because arrows cannot point towards outside the grid, right? So these are the crosses that I'm marking here. And the next thing that I saw in this puzzle is these 2 cells are the most important cell. Now why? Because this cell will either point towards the right or towards the bottom diagonal. Same way, this cell will again point towards the left or the bottom diagonal. But both of these cells cannot point towards each other. Now what I mean is that this cell cannot point horizontally and this cell cannot point horizontally at the same time, because you'll have 2 arrows pointing towards this one. Not possible, right? Which means that out of these 2 cells, at least one cell will have to point downwards, right? Either left diagonal from this side or right diagonal from this side. But again, one more logic is that both of these cells cannot point towards diagonal. Why? Because if both of these cells point towards the diagonal, it will point towards this one twice. What an excellent start logic this is. Which means that, for example, if you have a diagonal pointing towards down and diagonal pointing towards this down, this one will have 2 arrows pointing towards it, right? And again, same way. So if you have here as a diagonal point, horizontal point towards the one, and again horizontal point towards the one here, you'll have one pointed by 2 arrows, which means that one will have to point towards the horizontal, one will have to point towards this diagonal one, and which means that all the other possible cases can be eliminated, right? So which means that this will either be this way or this will have to be either this way, and which indeed will give you that this cell cannot be pointed by any other arrows, because it is pointed by either this cell or this cell, and this one is also pointed by this cell or this cell, which means that all other cells pointing this one can be eliminated. What an excellent logic, which means that this cell cannot point towards the one now. You'll have a cross here, you'll have a cross in the straight line here, you'll have a cross here, and this cell will also be pointed by either this arrow or this arrow, which means you'll have a cross here, here and here, and here as well. And again for this one, now this one will have diagonal cells. Let us go with the diagonal cells. This cell will have a arrow pointing by this cell. This cell will have a arrow pointing by this cell. Again you have a diagonal here. Okay, this is already pointed. This cell will have a arrow pointing towards this cell diagonally, and again this cell and this cell, right? So we have crosses now, and now every cell having two crosses can be placed by the arrow, right? So you can have an arrow placed here, right? Again you can have arrow placed here as well by the 3. You can have arrow placed here as well, and you can have arrow placed here as well by the 7, right? So every possible cell having two crosses can be placed with an arrow, which means that again let us go with the notation. You got notation here with this arrow got notations here, this arrow got notations here, this arrow got notations here, which means that now all the arrows have already been used with the notation. I'm not using notation on the empty cell because that is not giving any information. So let us go with the arrows with the numbers, right? The cells with the numbers for the notation. Now if you see here, this 2 is already fulfilled, right? Because of the logic here, this 2 is fulfilled now, and that means you can have a notation here as well. This can be cross, this can be cross pointing towards the 2. Again this can be cross, and this can be cross, because arrow cannot point towards the 2 now because 2 is fulfilled. So there are 4 possible places that we have eliminated with the 2. 1, 2, the 3 here, and the 4th here. 5th and 6th is already done. Okay, so which means now these cells can be placed with the arrow, 1 here, 1 here, and this would have to be 2 here. Superb. So this is also okay. So before going to that placement of arrows, let us just note it, because we can lose the track of writing all the notations here. This would not be here. Okay, now this arrow, this would have an arrow this way, and that can be notated this way, and which means that now 3 is also done. Excellent, right? 3 is also done with the notation or with the number of arrows to be pointing towards the 3, and which means that now we can again place some of the crosses here using the 3. Okay, so straight diagonal crosses are done. Now straight crosses. Superb. And which means that now we have got an excellent logic. So we knew that you have this cell either pointing towards the bottom diagonal or towards the horizontal, but bottom diagonal we have already eliminated, right? We have already eliminated the bottom diagonal. Even the 1 is fulfilled, right? I didn't see the 1 here. 1 is also fulfilled. So we can have crosses as well as for the 1. You'll have crosses at the straight lines, across here, across here, across here, and across here. That's awesome. So which means that now you'll have an arrow pointing towards the horizontal this way. Same way you'll have an arrow pointing towards the diagonal down. So let us notate those two, 1, 2, and this one no need any notation here. Now which means that you cannot have a cross here because 1 is already fulfilled. I mean to say you cannot have an arrow here because 1 is already fulfilled, right? And which means that this will have an arrow towards the bottom, and which means you fulfill this one as well, right? So let me mark that here. This is also fulfilled, and which means that have I fulfilled all the cases here? Okay, so I need to place an arrow here as well. Okay, let me place an arrow here. So notation is the most important thing here. As you can see here, I have notated the 4 as well, and 4 is also done now. We have marked the 4 as well. So let us see, anything else is pending here. So this cannot point towards the straight, this cannot point towards the cross. As the 4 is done, you cannot point across towards this one, across towards this one. Nice. And okay, so you have an arrow this way and this way. So which means that that completes this 4 as well because of this arrow. So this 4 is also completed now. Now which means that this 4 and this 2 as well. You complete this 2 as well. So which means that now all the arrows that are remaining will not point to any of the numbers, right? This 4 is remaining, I think. Okay, so let us see. This cannot point towards the right. This will have to point towards this diagonal, right? Okay, and this cannot point towards the right diagonal. This will have to point towards the left diagonal bottom. Okay, this cannot point straight, this cannot point down, this will have to point towards the top. This cannot point towards the left, this will have to point towards the right. This, okay, this cannot point upwards because that will fulfill the 4, but 2 is already fulfilled. So 2 will have 3 arrows pointing towards it. So which means this will have to point towards the bottom, and which means that this will have to point towards the remaining 4, because 4 needs to be completed now and all the other arrows are fulfilled. Only one arrow is remaining and that has to fulfill the 4. So which means we have fulfilled the 4 and completed this gorgeous puzzle. Excellent puzzle, right? This was an excellent puzzle, and as you can see here, the way you notate the puzzle and the way you use the notations will actually help you solve this puzzle easily, right? So if you see here, the number of arrows that are pointing will be equal to the numbers indicated inside the grid. So this was the second puzzle, higher pointer in the from the arrows puzzle. Now we'll move on to the third puzzle here, right? Third puzzle seems to be you have zeros here, so that should help actually. Let us see. So you have crosses here. So as usual, we'll mark the crosses first, then we'll mark the crosses for the 0, all the diagonal crosses. This is a cross, this is a cross, okay, this is a cross, and that gives you a cross here. So 0 crosses are done for the diagonal. For this one, 0 crosses diagonal are 1, 2, 3. So you need to be very careful while marking the crosses, because you don't mark to the neighboring cell. That will actually break the puzzle. And let us mark the horizontal crosses now. 1, 2, 3 and 4. And for this 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Right? So all the crosses are done now. And while after completing the crosses, just look out for the cells having 2 crosses. Because the moment you have 2 crosses, you place the arrow. Right? So this will have arrow towards the bottom. Right, this will have arrow towards the right, and this will have arrow towards the bottom diagonal. This will have arrow at the upper direction. This will have arrow here. This will have arrow again in the upper direction. Okay, so we have placed all the arrows here, right? And moment you place the arrows, what you do is, okay, I'll use the surface as well. So let me use the surface tab here, because that will help us. This is done, right? And now comes with the notation here. So first, going with this arrow, you point the 3. Going with this arrow, you point the 4 and 3. Going with this arrow, it's nothing, pointing nothing here. Going with this arrow, again pointing nothing. This arrow is pointing nothing, and this arrow is pointing nothing. Okay, so we have done till this now, and let us see what we have now. Okay, now the next thing that you see in this puzzle is these 4s, right? This 4 exactly. So whenever you have a number that is on the main diagonal, one of the main diagonals, so this is a main diagonal, right? And this is a main diagonal. Whenever you have a number on the diagonals, instead of 8, there will be only 6 cells pointing towards that number. So this cell is not on the main diagonal, and this can be pointed by 8 different cells. 1, 2, 3, 4. And diagonal 4 cells, 5, 6, 7 and 8, right? So this number is pointed by 8 different cells if you have arrows on all the cells. But whenever you have numbers on the diagonals, it will only be pointed by 6 cells, right? And what happens here is that out of the 6 cells, 2 cells are already eliminated by the crosses, cannot point the 4, which means all the other 4 cells will have to point the 4. There are exactly 4 cells remaining to point the 4. This is 1 cell, this is second cell, this would be the third cell, and this would be the fourth cell. These are the 4 cells will have to point the 4. There is no other cell that can point towards this 4. And now we can mark those cells actually. So let us see. You'll have an arrow here that give you a notation with 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Then you have an arrow towards this cell, which again gives you a notation with 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? And again this 4 now will be pointed this way. So you have an arrow here and arrow here, opposite side, right? So pointing the 4, both the arrows are pointing 4, and which means that 4 is done with the notation now. Superb. 3 is also done with the notation. Now the moment you complete the 4, you know that you cannot cross any other cells because those were the 4 cells pointing the 4, but you can cross out the 3 the cells which are pointing the 3, right? So that these can be crossed out. This is a cell pointing the 3, this is a cell pointing the 3, and this is already crossed out, right? Okay, so you have all the cells pointing the 3 already crossed out. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8, right? So which means that now you have a cross here, so you can have a arrow here this way that is not pointing any of the numbers. Now if you see here, again this 4 will give you the same logic that we applied in this 4. This 4 is also on the diagonal, right? Which means it will exactly have 6 cells pointing towards this 4, and out of these 6 cells, 2 cells are already eliminated because you have a 0 with the horizontal line, which means all other 4 cells will have to point to the 4, and which means that this cell would have to point towards the bottom, this cell would have to point towards the top, this cell will have to point towards this way, so that is this cell, and again this cell, right? All the 4 cells are pointing the 4s. These 2 cells are exactly pointing only the 4, so we can have a notation here, but these 2 cells are pointing the 4s and the 3s as well, both twice, which means that this is completed now. All the 3 cells are completed, and which means again the moment you complete a cell, you need to actually go with the notations of crossing all the other cells pointing the completed ones, which means that this 4 is okay, pointing already this, so this 4 doesn't have any other pointings, but this 3 has the pointings now. This 3 cannot have a cross here and here and here as well. 1 2 3 4 5, yeah, exactly, right? So we have crosses here now, and that will give you more arrows. So arrow here, and then you have an arrow here, that is, this arrow is not pointing any numbers, so we will not go for notation. This arrow is pointing the numbers 4 2, so we'll go with the notation. And now again this arrow won't point to any of the numbers, so we'll not go with the notations here. Okay, now let us see this 4 now. I suspect you have only a few cells possible for this 4. 1 2 3 4. Okay, so you have 4 cells, out of which 3 cells will point to the 4 and 1 cell won't point to the 4. Now how to look for the cells that will point to the 4? There is a very excellent logic here. Now these 4 cells, 1 2 3, I mean to say 1 2 and 3, there are exactly 3 cells plus this cell, 4 cells pointing the 4, and out of these 4 cells you need only 3 cells that will point to the 4. So what are the 3 cells that we have to look out for? Now the logic here is that if you see this 3 and this 2, you need exactly one more arrow pointing towards both of these numbers, and both of these horizontal cells, or vertical cells pointing the 4s cannot point to the 4 simultaneously, because that will actually contradict the 3 and 2, which means one of the vertical cells will point to the 4 and other all cells will have to point to the 4, right? So out of these 2 cells, only one cell will point to the 4, which means these 2 cells will surely have to point the 4. So you'll have an arrow here this way that is pointing the, sorry, not this one, this one, and this cell this way, right? So which means the 4 is pointed now twice. Now again if you see, you have exactly 2 cells remaining for this 4. Awesome logic, guys. Exactly 2 cells remaining for this 4. One cell, and this is the second cell. There is no other cell that can point towards this 4, which means that you'll have a arrow this way for this 4 and arrow this way for this 4. So you have exactly 4 cells pointing towards the 4, and that completes this 4. And now for this 4, you'll have the top cell that will point towards the 4, not the bottom one. That completes this 3 2 and 4, and which means that this cell cannot point towards the 2, this cell cannot point towards the 3, which means this cell will have to point towards the bottom diagonal, not pointing to any of the numbers. So if you see here now, we have placed the arrows in such a way that all the numbers are fulfilled here. So this is how actually you solve an arrow puzzle. The most important thing in an arrow puzzle is a notation. If you forget how many arrows a number is pointing to, then you will have to again and again count, and that will actually waste your time. So whenever you solve an arrow puzzle, do look out for notations and this is how the logic works, right? So I hope you enjoyed this video. Do like and comment if you want us to solve any other Sudoku variant or a puzzle genre, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you.